Hey guys, what's going on? First, we'd like to thank you so much for purchasing your Demon electric bike. We're looking forward to your future excursions and rides all out in the cities or the trails or even just your suburban home. Today, we are going to be talking about installing your Demon electric bike. All Demon electric bikes come 75% pre-built in the box, so it takes no time at all to put together your bike so you're ready to go out for that ride. Even if you're terrible at putting even the simplest things together, don't worry, we'll show you how. All Demon e-bikes come with the following tools and setup. Each bike is carefully packaged and zip tied in the box, so be careful when cutting the zip ties and packaging off that you don't cut any of the wires attached to your e-bike. Once you've taken your bike parts out of the box, make sure that you have the following tools in your toolkit.
The first thing you're going to want to install is your kickstand. If you notice, the kickstand has two holes on the front here. Also, on the back end of your bike, you've got two holes. You're going to align those holes together from behind. Make sure that you know and see what you're doing. And the holes come with two screws. So you're going to place the first screw in, and here you can just screw it in with your hands. Nice and simple, until you really can't screw it in with your hands anymore. Once it becomes a little bit difficult, that's when we'll be using our 5mm Allen key. Simply place it in and turn it all the way in clockwise. Perfect. Once one screw is in, then you'll do the same thing on the other side using the second screw here. Place it in, twist it in as much as you can with your hands. This one's a little bit tighter. So I'm going to use that 5mm Allen key again. Insert and start twisting it in. Excellent. We're almost there. You want to spin these in clockwise, so that's spinning to the right and not spinning to the left. And almost there. If you really want to make sure that it's extra tight, flip the Allen key over onto the other side. So what you've got here is a little bit of a handle, and pull it towards you, nice and tight. That kickstand isn't going anywhere. Now we're going to put in the pedals. The pedals are really simple to put in. At the end of the pedals, you've got a left and a right indicator with the letters L and R. It's also the way that you need to spin the pedals in order for them to fit in. So we've got the left one right here. We're going to put it in, and you're just going to spin from the base counterclockwise, because left, spinning it, is counterclockwise. It should fit in really easily. If not, double check how you're spinning it. Excellent. Once it becomes a little bit too difficult to spin in with your hands, now you're going to grab the little wrench that you have in your toolkit. There's two sides to it. There's a 15mm and a 13mm. 15mm is a little bit bigger. So we're going to use the 15mm side. And you're going to give that a nice spin in until it's good and tight. Let's really check. Oh yeah. Excellent. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side, but you're going to spin it in clockwise because it's R for right.
In order to install the handlebar, you're going to need the 4mm and the 5mm Allen key. First thing that we're wanting to do, using the 5mm Allen key, we are going to make sure that we align the handlebars properly here. So you're just going to sit it on, and you're going to straighten out the fork at the front here. There's a little folding tab here that you're going to open nice, and you're going to look on the inside here, there's a nice hole. This is where you're going to need the 5mm Allen key. You're going to place it in. You're doing it right. Yeah, now it's starting to get difficult. I'm going to pull it out. Lovely. You still have a little bit of motion and moving here. So on the other side, if you notice there's a hole, you'll also need the 5mm Allen key for that one too, because this will help to adjust the height of the handlebars. Simply place it in, right. Not too tight though, because this will be really tough to open and to close. But there we go, nice and closed. Now we really need to make sure that these are tight in. On this side, you have 2 smaller screws that you're going to tighten up in there. Making sure that everything is aligned straight first before you continue, just in case you need to make a little minor adjustment. And you're going to put it in, and you're going to spin these clockwise in. So spinning it to the right. Once you've gotten one, go for the next one. And if you really want to make it tighter, make sure to flip the Allen key around the other way so you have the short bit in there first. Let me spin it over here so then you can take a seat. Excellent. Short bit in and pulling towards myself. Nice and tight. Excellent. And let's do that on the bottom too. Nice and tight. Make sure to adjust those handlebars to a height that you prefer and a height that you like as well. So then when you really tighten up the top here, it goes exactly the way that you would like it to go. And just to really make sure, excellent, let's put it in this way first. Really tight, there it is. Excellent. And you've got your handlebar together. We're now going to put together the fender and the headlight. They go hand in hand. If you notice on the suspension fork, you've got a little screw here, and there's also a nub on the back that keeps it together. So the first thing that we're going to do is unscrew. Make sure to hang on to the washer and everything that goes along with it, so you don't lose it. Excellent. Put that somewhere safe. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to thread this through from behind, and we're going to have the metal part of the fender at the top there. Now it's time for us to align. So we're going to make sure there's a little bottom end here of the headlight. Thread that through, let it hold onto the bottom, and you're going to put and connect the metal part there. Now, we're going to thread all the way through. Perfect. 1, 2. Might be a little clunky at first, but it'll make its way in. Now, holding on one side, doesn't need to be perfect quite yet. We are going to spin the nub all the way on the back. Make sure that you're spinning that little nub flat-sided. Excellent. Once it is in a little bit tight, now this is where you're going to grab the 5mm Allen key. You're going to place that in, nice and easy. And you're just going to give it a spin until it's nice and tight in. See if I can lift that up just a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And once that's good and tight, give it a little pinch on the back just to really make sure. Excellent. You're good to go on the first part. On the front suspension, you'll notice that there's a little plastic ring here that can kind of move up and down. This is what's going to connect the 2 metal rods of the fender together onto your suspension fork here. If you notice, there's a small screw. You can't really see it, but if I flip it around on the back end, there's a little nub there as well. So we're going to just undo all of that together. So if you just apply a little pressure at the front using your hands. Next, we are going to take that out on that side. And now we're going to kind of connect things together. So if you notice, there's a little bit of room and push that you can have with the front fender here. So you're going to make sure that you kind of push it through. And let's make things connect. One thing at a time. 1, excellent. And we're going to push it through onto the back. So then that's a nice and easy fit. 2, phenomenal. And holding that thing on the back, clasping it in with the nub, and clockwise. And once it's nice and tight in, perfect. Should be good to go.
While most of our Demon wheels come with a caliper that you need to insert through the wheel, the Escape does not. The Escape almost comes with the caliper already built into it, so then you can lift it and put it into the fork of the Escape with incredible ease. Simply undo the screws on either end, and your caliper is already ready to go. So the next thing that we're going to do is put in the wheel. If you remember, the wheel has sort of screws at the end of it, and so before you put the wheel in, you're going to undo those screws. The screw has 3 parts. It's got the main hub, it's got a washer, which will connect next, and then it's got a secondary washer with a little part that bends on the inside. You want that to bend all together. So from the side, you get something that looks a little bit like this. Perfect. So before screwing everything in, we're going to align everything. You're going to have the metal disc plate facing and heading on the inside there. That's where it connects all the disc brake. And make sure you can face it towards yourself as well so you can really see what you're doing. And make sure that that really gets in. It takes a moment, give it a little bit of a push. Excellent. And we're going to apply the first screw in. Excellent. You can use your hands for this part at first, just to really make sure that you've got it in there. So we've got one part. I'll do the same thing on the other side there too. Excellent, making sure that I got all the screws looking right with the washers. Place on top. Excellent. And give me a nice twist. Remember, with these screws, you're going to want to twist them clockwise, not counterclockwise. So that's spinning it to the right. Excellent, there it is. Nice and easy. Now it's time to get it in there really nice and really tight. In order to do that, you're going to grab the 15mm wrench, and you're also going to really make sure that that gets in there. So give it a few spins just to really make sure. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Excellent. And connect, spin. Excellent, that's nice and tight there. And you'll do the same thing on the other side to really complete it there. Excellent. And perfect. And now your wheel is in. Now it's time to connect the main battery to your e-bike to get it working. If you noticed, you have two connectors here. On these connectors, there's a small little arrow that points up, and on the other side, a small little arrow that points down. That's how you're supposed to connect them together. So make sure that the arrows are facing one another, give it a strong little push in, and you're connected. In order to access your battery, the bike comes with a key. If you notice on the handlebars, you'll have a pair of keys that have been zip tied on. Grab a pair of scissors, thread it through. Watch out not to cut any of the wires. Perfect. Excellent. Now that we have our key, you'll notice on the front here, you've got your keyhole right at the top, and you've got your AC adapter at the bottom. In order to access the battery, you're going to take the key, you're going to place it into the top hole, give that a little spin. You've got a lever here on the side. With that lever, you're going to pull it up, and that is how you take the battery out. In order to put it back in, simply keep the key turned, place it in, give it a little push through, and you're good to go. At the tail end of your escape battery, there should be a little rubber flap. So you're going to move that rubber flap over to the side, and you're going to notice that there's the port for your AC adapter. You're going to plug it in. Excellent. And you can plug the battery into any wall mount. Really simple. Either you can take it out of the bike and have it sleep overnight, or you can leave it inside the bike and it will do the exact same trick and the exact same job. But now that we're charging, let's get out.
It's also important to lube up your chain and to clean the bike from any mud or gunk. You want to make sure to have the longest lifespan on your bike that you possibly can, and so keeping it from rusting or getting any small damages from any mud and gunk is incredibly important and will absolutely keep that lifespan of that bike. Demon wants to thank you once again for choosing us for your e-bike ride. Now that you're ready to go, why don't we see how your bike handles? Axle